Hey there, how are you all? Today I am here to start teaching you the first language. So the first language to be taught on this channel, HTML. So let's dive right into that. What is HTML? So now let me describe. This is the first video of the second playlist, the first tutorial on this channel, which is HTML and CSS. I'm not sure if I'll combine JavaScript to them or I will do a separate tutorial for that. I'm still not sure, but time is there to show us. We will start with HTML and then dive right into CSS. We will take three parts of HTML, three parts of CSS. So we will start. This is the first video of HTML. The second video will be about CSS, and then so on till we have three parts of each. We will dive from the basic concepts till the advanced. Not the most advanced concepts, but to the ones that we need. Okay, need for what? The ones that we need for Django. And we will learn about Bootstrap and some other stuff in this tutorial as well. So let's dive right into the main of this video, HTML. So what is HTML? Let me first introduce you to the first meme on this channel and a person who thinks he knows HTML. So do you know HTML? Yeah, I know HTML. I know how to meet ladies. No man, HTML is nowhere that, and I hope you like the I hope you like the meme. Let's dive right into the video. So, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, not for how to meet ladies. The second thing is that HTML is the only language a browser understands. It's the standard markup language. So there are any other languages that some people use instead of HTML, but that they use for the same purpose of HTML. But the thing is that the browser does not understand that languages. That languages are later using a compiler transformed into HTML, and that's what the browser understands. The browser understands HTML for the structure, and it understands CSS for the design. So if you're seeing design, there are many languages as well that we might discuss in CSS videos, but we are not going to use them. We will use the direct languages which the browser understands. HTML and CSS, and JavaScript as well. So HTML is the only language a browser understands. It's the standard markup language. So it's not a programming language, it's a markup language. What does a markup language mean? It means it is what builds the structure of the web page. So HTML is the structure of the web page. The last thing to say is HTML is a combination of elements. So what does that mean? Let's see. What are the elements of HTML? What are the elements of HTML? So an HTML element is made up of two tags. The starting tag, so as you can see, we have the smaller sign and then the bigger sign, and in between we have the start tag, whatever that is. That's just an example. And the ending tag, which is between those arrows as well, we write the end tag, which is the same name. So the start tag and the end tag. So for example, there is an element of HTML which is P. We will discover what that is in this video. So you just write P between these arrows. That's for the start tag. And then for the end tag, you write these arrows and then a backslash. And after the backslash, you write P. Still seems a bit abstract and you still not get it. Don't worry about that. We'll see some code in this lecture. And that will make it very obvious and easy. The difference is that the ending tag contains a backslash before the tag name. So that's pretty simple. Don't worry, we'll see what that means and what that is in an example that will be soon shown to you. So for every language we have boilerplate, okay? So that's for every language, for Django, HTML, for everything, yeah? So the HTML has its own boilerplate as well. As you can see, there is a picture of hamburger over there, or a burger. Let's check why that is. So HTML's boilerplate consists of three: the head, the body, and the footer. It's often referred to as the burger because the burger has the top part of the bread, where the top part of it, which is the bread, which is the head of HTML, and then you have the meat, which is the main, which is the body, and then the footer, which is down. We will discover each one of these in depth just a moment now. Okay, so there's this, which is the DOM. So what is the DOM? The DOM is the structure of the HTML. So DOM stands for Document Object Model. As you can see, we start with the HTML. Let's first write our first code and then come and check everything that we. So we're going to write our first code right now, a very simple HTML code that does nothing. And then after that, that doesn't technically do nothing. It just displays hello world. So I'm going to show you that I'm going to write that code in front of you right now, and then we come and explain these, and we explain each tag by itself, and they're explained down in the other slides as well. So just wait a moment and let's discover them. So here I open my Visual Code, CD code. Sorry for this. I'm just going to add a file right here, and let's call it. So when you're creating a file, an HTML file, call it whatever. So we'll just say first for our first HTML code, and then when you have to write .html. So what is this I'm using? What am I? Where am I typing this? Don't worry about that. We are going to discover that in we're going to discover that in a coming video. For now, if you want to follow along, just not in a coming video. Don't worry. Just the next video, I'm going to explain what this is. So it will be out today or tomorrow. So don't worry. Just check the video. For now, if you want to follow along, just type Notepad on your laptop, and once you open Notepad, I'm going to write with you over there. So what is Notepad? You can write your own HTML code on Notepad as well. Difference is that over here, when you're writing over here, it's you get the code colored and it formats, and it's an IDE. It helps if there is an error, while the Notepad doesn't do that. So don't worry about that. We're going to discover that in the upcoming video today or tomorrow, so don't worry at all. Right now, open your Notepad with me, and I'm going to write our first HTML code that you will not understand unless you know HTML. Not how to meet ladies, but unless you know the hypertext markup language. So if you don't, no worries. I'm going to write our first code right now, just a couple lines, and then I'm going to explain each and every line of them. So what do I mean when I said start tag and end tag? It's just this simple. These tags over here. So the first thing you write, the first tag you have in your HTML page is um, exclamation mark doc type HTML. Now we'll discover what that does in the slides. Just one moment now, and then we write HTML, which is the second tag we write. Which is the starting tag for everything, and then we write head. If you want to know how I'm coming these spaces like very quickly, just press the tab key on your keyboard, and that happens. This, anyway. So I'm just formatting it because it looks nice when I do that. Um, just for that purpose, for design. So these spaces are meaningless. Don't worry about them. They're just spaces for design. Then we have head, and now inside the head tag we have a tag which is the title that we're going to explore in a moment as well. And then now we want to close the title. Title is the only thing, not the only thing. It's one of the things that will have in your head tag. So you have in Doctor. Let me explain this after. Let me just write the code right now, and I'm going to explain it. Just wait a moment. Let me write it. Just right now, see the syntax. If you remember from the first video, syntax means it's the way we write. So that's right there. So if as you can see a title over here, this we have title. This is the opening tag. This over here, and then this over here is the closing tag. The difference is we have a backslash right here. Yeah. So what's the title of our web page? Let's be hello, all caps, and then let's have our body. Let's close our head tag first. So let's do this. We closed our head, and then let's open our body that we'll explore in a moment. Then let's close it as well, and then let's close the whole page, the whole HTML page. Uh, inside the body, let's have a text which is um, hello world. So often, quite often, in every language you learn, the first program you write will be hello world. So it's nothing specific. It happens in every language, and it's the easiest to do in all languages probably. That's why the beginners always start with that code. Right now it's not the best way formatted, but it's good, I guess. Uh, let's check out the code right now. So right now I didn't save it yet, so I just pressed Ctrl S and I come to save, and I would call it first first.html. If you don't write .html, this right here, uh, the file won't work. Let's save it on our desktop so that we can access it quickly. And I save, and now it's saved. Perfect. Close all of this. Where is it? Where is it? It's first. See, you won't find a text document like this. You'll find this a Chrome or whatever your default browser is. And then once you press it, it takes you to Chrome, opens the page, and as you can see right now, the page says "Hello World," and that right there was your first HTML program, your first program with me on this channel. And let's discover what the heck we said. Yeah. So we come back here, and then from current slide. So I will come back to this page over here once I explain each tag on its own. Okay. So we start with the first tag that you saw, which was doc type, exclamation for my doc type. The doc type HTML tells the browser that this is an HTML5 document. So the latest version of HTML is HTML5. So tell your browser that you're not writing HTML1, that you're writing HTML5. You open the tags and you put an exclamation mark and write doc type HTML. It doesn't matter if it's all caps or if it's case insensitive. So this tells the browser this is an HTML5 document. Hopefully you understood this tag, simplest I guess, and they're all simple, hopefully. So this simply says, hey there, hey browser, this is an HTML5 document. So before the browser reads your document, it reads this, the first tag, which says this is an HTML5 document. And then you have the second tag that we saw, which was the HTML tag, right? If you recall, or if your notepad is open, that's it. HTML tag is the first tag. What is HTML tag? The HTML tag starts the whole page. So to start the page, if you don't, you have to write the HTML tag. It tells the browser this is the start of my page. If you don't write the tag, the page won't work. Okay, so it tells the browser that this is my HTML page. So it should be there every time. And then you have the head. What is the head? The head element is the element that contains the contents of the page's head. I know that practically explains nothing. So the head has helpful info about the page for the browser. So for the browser, the head contains many stuff such as the title. And when we start writing styles, when we start writing CSS design, we will write that in the head. Okay, and we will know we will you will see more about that in the upcoming video about CSS. So in the head, the info inside the head is not visible. So as you recall, if I open my notepad over here, this is my head tag. This is my head component. We had title inside, which is this over here. This is my title. But when I open it's all caps. You can't find the title of in the visible in the page in the visible part of the page. So this info is helpful for the browser, and if you want to check where the title is, it's this right here. So this is our title. You see? So if I come over here right now, just a second, if I come and change the title to N and B and save. When this is saved, I save by typing Ctrl S, and then I refresh. As you can see right now, the title is N and B. This is helpful information for the browser and for anyone who's viewing, the title, but nothing else. Okay, so that was our first HTML program. Let's see more about the elements. Let's check them more. So the head, I hope you understand the head now. And then you have the body. What is the body tag? The body tag contains all visible elements of the page, images, links, slides, etc. So in some websites we have slides where you start going through the images, and that's found in many of the websites. A slide, and that goes in the body tag. The images go in the body tag. The links go in the body tag. Everything goes in the body tag. Everything visible. Everything visible goes in the body tag. So everything you see in a web page is in the body tag. So even the footer is in the body tag, by the way. Now we'll check what the footer is. I didn't type the footer inside my notepad, but I don't usually. I'm going to explain that one moment. So the body contains this stuff, the text, the image, the links, the slides. So if you see over here, this is our body tag right here. We typed text and we said hello world, and there it is. It's the visible part of our page. And here you can see hello world. To refresh your web page, there is no need to go and press here. You can press Ctrl R and that does it for you. For example, if I change right now and said NB, Ctrl S, I saved, and then Ctrl R, it refreshes, and this is NB right now. Hope you get the head and the body. Let's dive right into the footer. So from current slide, so what is the footer? A footer element typically contains okay, so when you add the footer, you add the footer inside your body. So like this, if you want to see how. Hopefully you can imagine that right now under the hello world. Come here. The footer comes at the bottom of the body tag, so at the end, because it's the end of the page. If you still don't know what the footer is, I'm going to explain in a moment. So we write footer over here, then close it, and then do this footer. And the next video, we're going to explore the benefits of using an IDE, which is this over here. Yeah, we're going to explore that in an upcoming video. Okay, so 1 second, just designing this. Okay, so right now in here the footer, what goes in there? Let's check that out. So a footer element typically contains authorship information, copyright information, contact information, sitemap, backup links, related documents. Is that too much? Let's take them one by one. So the authorship information. Who did the website? You can write your name down there. The copyright information. Um, the copyright information. So you don't want anybody to take the website, it's yours, so you have the copyright. And then the contact information, your name, your email address, or whatever you want to share, your phone number, whatever. That goes into the footer of your web page. And you have the sitemap. Um, you have the sitemap as well, and backtop links. So for example, if the footer is quite down, like at the end of the page, it's very down, you can just have a link over there where it takes you back to the top, or a link to take you to other pages. That's typically what the footer is. If you still don't get it, don't worry, we're going to get some examples later on in the course. Let me just try out something. If in the footer over here, if we type by, and I saved, and I can Control R. Indeed, see, the footer comes under the hello world because it should, and that's a footer. Anyways, it's under it in the. So there's something. When the browser comes to read your page, it reads the doctor HTML first. When it reads it, it finds out that this is an HTML5 document, and then it reads the HTML, which tells it it's an HTML page. Then it reads the head. When it reads the head, it's coming to meet its title, and then it meets the title, and then it takes the title, displays it where I showed you it displays it, and then the head closes, then the body opens, it knows this is what she's going to display, or what it's going to display, and then it finds hello world, it displays that text I mean, sorry, and then it defines the footer, we define it right here, and then it displays it because it's inside the body. Then we close the body, and after closing the body we close our HTML page, and that will be it for our HTML page. So right now let's explore more HTML tags. What are some more HTML tags? Now we're going to explore two more, and that will be it for this video. And then in the upcoming videos, all we're going to do is practice and find out more and more HTML tags. The most important ones, such as how to put an image, how to have a link, how to have a form, those stuff. If you don't know what these are, don't worry, we're going to meet that. We're going to reach there. So H1 and B. So the H tag in HTML defines a heading. We have 6 H tags in HTML: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So the H tag in HTML defines a heading. So if you want to have a heading in your page, you have to write the H tag. And the H tag doesn't come by itself. So you can't just write a tag that has only H. You have to define one of the numbers, 1 to 6. These numbers represent? They represent the size of the heading. So the larger the number is, the smaller the header. So 1, as you can imagine after reading this sentence, is the largest heading, and 6 is the smallest heading. And let's see that in our program right here. With the heading I mean, sorry, is absolutely visible. Therefore, if we want it visible, it should go right into the body tag. So let's have this hello world become a header. How about that? Our heading. So we wanted the largest possible. So what was the largest possible if you recall it was H1. We close it, and over here we open it, and then we close it by typing the backslash H1 close the tag. Now once we save, let's see, what do you think what might happen? As you might imagine, hello world will become a header I mean, sorry. So Ctrl R, there it is. Hello world right now is our header, and it's largest possible, which is H1. Of course you can have it larger, and we'll discover how to do that later on in the course. But right now, this is it, hello world H1. So let's come back into let's come back into code and have more H's. So H2, uh, I'm going to do something, a lazy thing. I'm going to copy and paste. So I'm going to do this, Control C, then Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. And now over here, 3, 4, sorry, what was that? 4, 5, and 6. I didn't need that then. 6, 5, 4. I'm really not quite good at typing in the notepad. When using the Visual Studio Code, this over here that we're going to discover in the upcoming video, you can do something where you will speak with not speak, where you will type on these 5 lines at the same time. And we'll discover that in the upcoming video, hopefully. If we don't, remind me on the comment section, please. Okay, so let's have some text in these. This is an H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and Ctrl S, and then Ctrl R, and look at it. So we started with the largest header, which is hello world, the H1, and then this is an H2, this is an H3, H4, H5, and H6. And hopefully you can see how the size keeps going down, down, down till it reaches the smallest, which is H6. And you can't have H7, by the way. That does not exist. Okay, so I don't really like the format of this. Let's make it nicer. Let's have it nicer. How about this? Not the best possible. Yeah, I know I'm wasting your time right now watching me format this stuff over here. I'm very sorry. Really sorry. Probably this looks better. By the way, what I just did changes nothing over here. Still the same. Okay, so back into our HTML, back into our slides. Hopefully you understood what the heading is after the example and such. If you still don't, please comment below. If I'm going too fast, please comment below. Your your actions are the most important to me. So the other tag that we're going to discover today is the P tag, or the last tag that we're going to discover today. So what is the P tag? The P tag in HTML represents a paragraph. So the P tag in HTML represents a paragraph. So if you recall, we typed text right over here, which was hello world. But what if we want the paragraph in our HTML page? We can come and do this, like some gibberish right now. I'm very sorry. Let me just have this and then Control S. As you might imagine, it will be displayed right over here. And this is the gibberish displayed over here. And then what if? But now it's not like there's no difference if you type that in a paragraph, but the paragraph has its own benefits that we're going to discover in upcoming video. In the next video about HTML. So I did something over here. If you saw, I had two lines, right? Uh, sorry. I started. Now I have two lines. The first line starts at I, ends at K, and then the second starts in N, ends at and ends as at S. Now if I save this and come here and Control R, they're still on the same line, and I don't want that. I want to end over here. I want my first. I want to end over here and have another line. How can I have that? That's one of the benefits to have these inside p tags. If I hit p, I close the p. Same right here. Then right here. Then I save, then I come to my Chrome, reload. As you can see right now, they are formatted as I want them to be, each is on a line. But when I had them without the p tags, it wasn't that way, right? So that's one benefit of the p tags. Another benefit is designing and styling the p tags that we're going to cover in the upcoming CSS video. So hopefully you understood all the tags we discovered. Let's go back into the DOM right now that I told you I'm going to tell you about. I still didn't. I'm very sorry. So what does DOM mean? It means document object model. So the document object model is a tree-like structure of the page. It represents your page. So once we come here, we have your HTML. That's the first tag. Right, there is the doc type, but it's no part. That's just the type of the page. So of type of the HTML. So there is no need for it to be here. Not doc type HTML. It just specifies the type, which HTML version we're using. But the starting of the page is right over here, the HTML tag. And then from there we come to the head tag, and in the head tag we find the title. The browser does, by the way. So it finds the title, and then after the finding the title, it finds hello as a title, it displays it, and then comes back to find a closing header, a closing tag that closes the head. Then when it comes into the HTML, it finishes the head, it comes to the body, the opening tag, and in there, in our first program, if you recall, it was just hello world. That was our first program. Right now, after we added the headers, the h tags and the p tags, they might come over here, but since the first tag right now is an h1, it's not hello world anymore. So right here, instead of a hello world, we will have an h1 containing hello world, and then more and more tags, h2, h3, so on, and then we will have some paragraph tags, and that will be our DOM. And that's an important concept to understand. It's pretty easy, I guess. Like as you can see, tree-like structure. That's the DOM, simply. I hope you understood today's lesson and enjoyed it. We discovered the H tags. We discovered doctype HTML tag, the HTML tag, the head tag, the body tag, the footer tag, the H1 and P tags, H tags and P tags. Hopefully you got them all. These are the basics of HTML. Today we explained what is HTML And that was the video for today. And before we end, I have a bonus meme today, which is this. Um, this is you over here and me when I started. Me thinking that computer is easy. Then HTML is one of the languages waiting for us. HTML and CSS is our tutorial. Then you have Python. And they're waiting to kill you just to show you how easy the computer is. They're just coming to give evidence, provide evidence to your theory. Um, Hopefully you've started to understand more these concepts, and hopefully right now you understand what HTML is, and hopefully you know what a p tag and h tag and had the boilerplate is. I'm sure these tags right now you shouldn't memorize them. Just this is the boilerplate. This is the first time writing it, so there's no need to memorize them. After writing it 3-4 times, be sure that you will know it like without thinking, like just without thinking, you'll find yourself typing it each and every time you type an HTML page. They are not hard, even if they seem so right now. With practice, following my tutorial and subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, it will become the easiest thing ever. So you were with N&B programmer. Here is my Facebook, email address, and Instagram. And I am planning to have a Udemy course that contains all the videos I'm going to have on my YouTube channel. If you want to support me, you will go buy the course over there. I wanted the course to be for $1, but sadly, the least it can be is $20. If you don't get what I'm saying, that's no problem. I'll explain more on that about that in an upcoming video as well. Um, Sorry if the video was too long, 31 minutes. I'm really sorry, but this is HTML. Like right now, you can write your first HTML project, your first web page. Go there, discover, go add go build your first web page. Have some H tags, some paragraphs. You can build much, and the way a programmer becomes a programmer is by practice and searching. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and peace.